Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Ready to Love Season 10, Episode 6.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Blair, you ready?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this, please.
All right, y'all. So we learned Rocky and Coley are not ready to love.
Told ya.
Sahara is talking about she doesn't want to be here. Cam is trying to give her correction, and she's saying, I'm not trying to sit up here and be chastised.
Wow.
She tells him not to make it about him. Cam is feeling like if Sahara is not accepting his feedback, it will affect their relationship, or it is affecting their relationship.
What is your thoughts? I'm about to say, don't kill the messenger now.
Yeah, I mean, Sahara has been sat down about 2-3 times now, and she says she is who she is. So at this point, y'all either let her go or accept her. So I didn't fault her for feeling frustrated.
And here's the thing: if Fritz didn't open his mouth, maybe she would have got eliminated. Mm-hmm. But now they felt like they had to stand up for her. And truth be told, it's rather you like her or you don't. Fritz, if you don't like her, you ain't gotta say nothing about her or to her, or even bring her name up in a sneaky way. You get what I'm saying? But I would say, Sahara, hey, listen, you are who you are, but at the same time, Cam is your mold that you have on the inside that's telling you what everybody's thinking. Mm-hmm. He's trying to give you the cheat sheet. Yeah. Right? If Cam could take criticism and change his approach, what makes you better or above taking criticism that you can't change your approach just a little bit? Nobody's not changing who you are.
She said she ain't going to do it.
Well, guess what?
Well, then I guess she need to go.
Exactly. it is what it is. And truth be told, I don't think there's nothing wrong with her when it comes to how she feels. Mm-hmm. But listen, amongst these guys, this is the pick of the litter that you have. And they all feel this way. You know what I'm saying?
So we get to the ladies' vault. They are in charge this time around.
Yeah.
Tommy challenges them to go on a date with the guy who is their second option.
Who is their second option? Okay, second option dates.
Yeah, so Dianna goes on a date with Hussein. Mm-hmm. Khalil is her top, but she likes Hussein's height.
Okay.
So they go horseback riding. Then they sit down to talk. They discuss deal breakers. His is someone who's selfish, and hers is someone who doesn't communicate. Okay. And he agrees that communication is big. Before he even really gets a chance to fully get the issue off his chest of how he agrees and different examples he has, she tells him, you know what, you don't really seem like a good communicator to me.
Wait a minute.
You seem like somebody who... you wouldn't tell me if there was an issue right away. Something would have to prompt you, or you would have to be pressured to eventually say what was really on your mind.
Wait a minute.
And she talks about also how work is her priority. Well, he tells her that he is a good communicator, and it sounds like she's in a relationship with her job, and she needs to have work-life balance. And if you're a firefighter and somebody else is pushing paper, both of you guys pretty much are contributing to the household, and you don't get the upper hand because you're a firefighter.
Wait a minute.
And Hussein tells her very clearly, this ain't gonna work.
What are your thoughts? Go ahead.
My thoughts, I just pretty much feel like Hussein is a very clear communicator. If Dianna would have took the chance to listen, he would have told her exactly what he meant. But she actually got the date going on the wrong foot, and I didn't fault him for handling it the way he did and being clear that this isn't going to work. So.
Yeah, listen here. This is now, Dianna, this is the second time that you have... See, I don't want to put blame on her for what she did with Cam, but the way she shut Cam down is kind of the way that you got shut down. The boomerang came back towards you. You shut Cam down, and the only reason why I don't really put blame on you for the Cam thing is because you said from the jump before you even met Cam, I don't want to date anybody in my profession. Okay, so I got to respect that. But, you was looking at his height. You was kind of, you're short and things of that nature. And now you like Hussein because he's tall. And then you put some on him that haven't been proven. It may have been a thought. It may be something that's you seem like someone who's quiet. And he's like, no, I'm not. And my thing is, why would you say that to him on your first date? You get what I'm saying? It came off as you're just a little too much, maybe too opinionated for my liking for the first date. And then this whole idea to where Hussein basically read you down saying, hey, look, I understand you love your job, but at the end of the day, it sounds like you dating your job, and I don't want to be with someone who's going to put their job above themselves and me. Right. And even she said that she's looking for someone that's basically hold their job to a higher priority, just as she holds her job to a higher priority. And maybe he's just like, you know what? The way you came at me, it wasn't demure. You get what I'm saying? And it's not going to work. Yeah. It's not going to work. And guess what? I can respect it.
I can as well. So Taye decides to take Naeem out on a date.
This was left field for me.
I was thinking to myself, why Naeem? She already getting with the guy who's trying to build his life, and then she wants to get with the guy who's got 5 kids, 3 baby mamas. what's going on, Taye? Like, you didn't want to go out with anybody else with just a little bit more seemingly stability for themselves going on? I don't know.
She has a bad picker.
So she has respect for him for being a great father. Mm-hmm. She was at first put off by the fact that he has 5 kids. He can see himself with her. He's attracted to her. She wants to have a long-term relationship. And in his confessional, he says that he felt the physical attraction.
Okay.
Naeem made her feel good on her date. It was instant chemistry. She also has a strong connection with Cisco. We saw them laid up, him rubbing her feet, and just, they were very close and cozy. But honestly, to me, it was giving more physical attraction than anything.
Yeah. Taye, and this is what, it's my fault. It's not your fault, Blair. It's not your fault, friends. It's my fault for thinking that I should basically equate your profession to how smart you are, right? And I'm thinking like, oh, she's definitely educated, her profession with, in that basically medical field and things of that nature. Like, she definitely got to be smart in some way. And the thing about it that is hypocrisy for me. I don't view mechanics as like, the quote unquote smart, but guess what? Go outside and fix your car.
Right.
They are basically the doctors of your vehicle. You get what I'm saying? So when I see her with the bad picker, I'm just like, oh, this comes off as some type of daddy issue type of like, you're seeking something that you should have got in your childhood. We kind of see that, or at least from my opinion, from when I was watching it, when she goes on her date later on with her first option, I guess. Yeah. But I was like, I really don't understand why she is choosing to put herself through like hardships.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. I know some people may feel like Cisco shouldn't have been chosen for this process, but hey, if we go do a realistic pick of the litter to where you have to pick a good candidate between some landmines, guess what? She don't got to talk to Cisco, but at the same time, you also don't have to talk to the guy that have 5 kids with 3 baby mamas. Mm-hmm. Like you can literally look at his present and guess your future.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think you want that.
And I will say that when it comes to, Cisco and this experiment and Naeem in this experiment, if there are women that have genuine connections with them and they want to go down those paths to, go through those hurdles with them, that is absolutely fine. But I'm just looking at Taye, who's somebody who said like she graduated, she got her degree, she's really trying to build her foundation for a life of marriage. Wouldn't she want a fresh start with somebody who doesn't have children and somebody who's not in a hole themselves?
Yeah.
Like, I would think that she would want somebody to have a fresh start with. I could even see someone, if they have children, maybe saying, getting with Naeem to be like, hey, I have kids too. Maybe this is something that we could do. Nah. But, if she likes them and she likes their personalities, that is what it is. But I don't know. I would think that she would want a fresh start on all boards for herself.
I'm not going to hold you. Mm-hmm. I think Naeem is in a worse position than Cisco when it comes to relationships, because there's something about 5 kids and 3 baby mamas.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, hey, you need to go back to one of those baby mamas and build a family with one of those kids, in my opinion, right? Because I'm like I don't, like, is this a sport to you, or are you just like no one is doing this no one's doing this by mistake? You get what I'm saying?
Well, he said like he had to heal and kind of move past wanting that love and I guess seeking it in different ways. But to me, it would still need to be proven, and you can't prove it with me. I'm sorry.
No, you definitely can. And my thing is, your healing still may have some lifetime repercussions that you may have to. Okay, you healed your wounds, but now you got to parent your kids. You get what I'm saying? From different households, as well as looking after the mother of the children and try to keep some type of bridge. You get what I'm saying?
And then pour into this new relationship.
So
that's a lot of time and energy to be cut up. Yeah.
Go into that rented room that's Cisco, and I'd rather you do that than be with Naeem if you had to choose.
Yeah. So Shanice goes on a date with Cisco.
Yeah.
And they do body painting.
Okay.
Cisco talks about how he shut down after his last relationship, but he is ready to let someone in now.
Yeah.
And he is wearing boxers, but when Shanice opens up her robe, she's talking about she's comfortable in her body and she is a nudist. So she is butt booty naked for the body painting.
Listen here, commit to the process. We are body painting, okay? I am naked under this robe. And I ain't gonna hold you. Was it a bit too much? Maybe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, look, we all thought, and yes, I'm speaking for y'all. We all thought Shanice was a little wound up, too uptight.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna say she a little bit too loose. Guess what? I'd rather this version of Shanice than the other version of Shanice, to where she's always like in a boardroom. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? I didn't expect her to be this loosey goosey, but hey, I was laughing my behind off when I thought she at least had bottoms off. I thought she had at least had bottoms on. No, she was naked.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen here, Philly. I like y'all, man.
I don't know. Like when I saw this, I was thinking, okay, what does Shanice really want out of this process? Because if she's leading with the physical in this way to where she's butt booty naked in front of a stranger on the first date
and kissing folks,
to me, it kind of sounds like you kind of just want to get down with folks. And if that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative. Mm-hmm. But I thought this show was about ready to love, not ready to smash. And it's coming across as very smash worthy right now.
Blair, do not put that on Shanice. This show is very unserious when it comes to building up for love and things of that nature. We just saw the little ring the bell competition last episode.
That was all about sex.
So where it was all about sex. So I'm not going to put that on Shanice as if she's not about the process. If the process is this, then she's 100% fit in with the process.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you.
No, shout out to Shanice, though.
So Rose goes on a date with Hussein.
Yeah.
He actually got her some roses. I thought that was sweet, a rose for Rose.
Yeah.
He talks about how he spent time in a group home from the ages of 13 till he went to college.
That's a long time.
There were some issues in his home. He had a strain in his relationship with his mother, and he has learned that he has to be forgiving.
Yeah.
Rose was actually in a foster home until she was around 10 or 11 when her parents got their lives together and got her and her siblings back. Rose has also had miscarriages in the past. She asked if he would see himself adopting, and he is open to it because he knows what it's like to be a kid in that situation.
How do you feel about Rose kind of leading with that miscarriage information?
I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it. And the reason I don't is because you kind of want to cut to the white meat, so to speak.
I don't know about that.
When it comes to dating in her position, I would say, because she has a child. Yeah. So she doesn't want somebody just around just to, get whatever scraps of things that she has good going for herself. And she doesn't want somebody around who's not going to take her seriously, to where she's going to introduce him to her son and probably want that person to be around for a long time. So I think that with Rose, she's looking for something very serious, very permanent. And I think she's putting it out there. The things that are things that she's able to do, things that she struggles with, things that might be a hurdle to get through. And I think that in order to lay that out to somebody, it really allows them to see you for who you are and what life would be like with you if they really want to take you seriously. So that's why I'm saying I'm not mad at it, because she needs somebody serious.
Okay.
She yeah.
So just clarification for me, when you say you're not mad at it, it comes off as if you're also not really like the biggest fan of it either. Well,
because that's not really how you draw somebody in to really have a romantic spark in relationship. Like, I feel like that's not a great way.
I feel like it's too early.
I feel like it's not a great way to draw somebody in, but at the same time, I'm just like, she doesn't need to draw in people who aren't going to take her serious.
That's fair. That's fair. I would like to just compare these two dates of Hussein with Dianna and Hussein with Rose. If you just would have been quiet, Dianna, he would have talked.
Yeah.
Guess what? She did not have to pry that information out of him and things of that nature. He was very open. He was very open, and in that moment, why choose in a first date or even in a sit down date? Why choose to criticize and not uplift? Dianna, you led with criticism. And compared to Rose, like, I understand that I don't really understand her game plan with the whole leading with the miscarriages thing. But I put it like this. I understand it. I think it's too early, right? I think once I realize that I have a connection with you and that, like, you're my only connection, and I realize that we're serious about each other, then maybe I start sharing some things such as that. But it does came off as a little like, do you say this to everybody that you talk to on the first date? Like sharing about the miscarriage. And granted, miscarriages is very normal and things like that. I didn't realize how normal it was until I became an uncle. You get what I'm saying? Like, years ago. But I think for her position, maybe for her age, maybe for her trying to have a kid and things of that nature, that she's like, hey, if you get with me, we're gonna try, but you know, these are the things that may happen. There may be some complications to where we have to adopt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And guess what? I'm not gonna say I love it, but I don't hate it.
Right. All right, so we get to Angie and Eddie's date.
Yeah.
He got her a gift, which is like a book journal type of gift. He loves how she is a mother and how they can connect over fun.
Yeah.
They talk deal breakers. Eddie's is disrespect, fighting, not cleaning up. He's very busy, so he needs his woman to be cooking and cleaning. That's not really his role.
Wait a minute.
Angie believes that Eddie wants a mom. She has a best friend who is someone that she used to deal with, and she talks to this person on the phone, and Eddie tells her, yeah, I would have an issue with that. I wouldn't want you in communication with somebody who you used to mess with or talk to.
Yeah.
So if you're going to deal with me, that would need to be cut off.
Now, Blair, listen, this best friend, we only tried to mess around one time and it didn't work. It was nasty, but this is my bestie. You're not going to accept my bestie? Eddie, you're not going to accept Angie's bestie?
I think Andrew's going to have a hard time finding men who are going to accept that.
Yeah,
a very hard time, because nobody wants the thought of you possibly having a connection with somebody that you talk to frequently, you know?
Here's the thing. Yes, guys are very territorial, but I learned that women are territorial too.
Absolutely.
Right? And if I was to say the same thing, or if the shoe was on the other foot, would you accept a woman best friend that, yeah, we slept together a few times, but it was icky, you know what I mean? But that's my best friend.
Absolutely not.
You would not. So, but I think the bigger issue is Angie is this is supposed to be the new Angie. This is supposed to be the 2.0 Angie, the Angie after the passing of her fiance, right? After the passing of her husband, I think it was, right? Basically the love of her life. During the time that she told us, she said, when I was with this guy, he did everything for me, right? And now when he basically passed away and I had to get up on my feet, like I work now and I'm doing all these things for myself, and I learned to grow in my independence. Eddie seemed like he's trying to strip that away. You get what I'm saying? Now, guess what? I learned to like this new person that I am. Talk about Angie. If I was to speak for Angie, right? I like this new person that I am. That I go out and I go get it, and like I feel like I'm contributing to society. And now you trying to take me back to a place that is basically linked to a sad part of my life, to where I'm just in the house with no hobbies, with nothing to do, cook and clean. Last time I checked, I think you was at the same date, the double date with Wayne, and even I think he said, you ain't got no hobbies? You ain't had no hobbies?
Yeah.
And now my hobby got to be cook and clean for you?
Well, I think he don't mind if she work, but when she come home, she got jobs to do.
Well, the same thing as when you come home, you got jobs to do.
Exactly.
Like, dude, listen here. I have no problem with demanding some things from your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever it is, right? Guess what? I'm very demanding. But one thing about me is I am also the model. I don't demand anything that I don't do myself. It's almost like a leader of a team. I think of Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was very hard on his teammates. But guess who was the first one running those sprints? Guess who was the one that was diving for the balls? Guess who was doing all the hard work? MJ was. So I'm like, to put that on her, I think, here's the thing about it that I'm learning, right? Even in my young age, right? I'm learning that you need to stop telling people in the sense of I expect you to cook and clean and da-da-da-da-da. People don't like being told what to do. Grown-ups don't like being told what to do. What you do is you model. You do it. You become what you expect, right? To where now it becomes a normalcy in the house. Besides, let's say her and Eddie was to get together, right? Besides you basically saying, hey, you need to cook and clean for me, make it like a life thing to where when we come home, we cook and we don't eat out. We clean out. We keep our spot, safe and not safe. We keep our spot clean and things of that nature. Besides just coming and saying, yeah, you gotta do all that. No, be the model, be the example, and then all of a sudden people just gonna be like, well, this is what we do here in our house. Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Eddie during the sit down. Well, at the same time, Angie, if the shoe was on the other foot, you had a problem with just him and Cooley talking. And he wasn't even trying to kiss the girl. He straight gave her the stiff arm. And you thought that was disrespectful. And he don't know that woman. But then you got a problem with you saying, I'm not picking nobody over my male best friend. That's not fair.
Yeah. And I do also think that with Eddie, with what he wants in a relationship is totally fine, totally his prerogative. Yeah. But Angie's just not going to be the one.
No, she's
so
not.
Get with somebody who's going to be into doing that for you.
Yeah.
So... Rose goes on a date with Fritz. He gets her a plant. They go-kart racing. She asks if he would be open to either not having a kid or adoption if she couldn't carry one, and she tells him about her miscarriage past as well. He says that he would want to procreate, so his first thought would be, of course we would try, but why not a surrogate? And she is not down for a surrogate, anybody carrying her babies. As the convo is going, Rose can tell that they are not compatible.
You know what I learned? I'm a big fan of first date, bring a gift for the person you're on a date with.
That is a really nice gesture.
I think that's a great. Now, granted, that don't mean that you go on a lot of first dates.
Right.
No. I'm talking about, like, let's say y'all talking and things like that, and y'all have y'all official first date. I am a big believer of both parties. But I'm gonna put the expectation on my brothers, right? That both parties should come with something. I thought it was very nice that Hussein. I'm gonna get his name right. Hussein came with flowers. I like the fact that Eddie came with books. I like the fact that my man came with a plant. These things do not cost $50 to $100. You get what I'm saying? You can include that on your bill, $15 if that. Just something that shows that I'm not coming empty-handed. I'm appreciative. Thank you for going on a date with me. I really do like that. Yeah. Now to talk about this. I gotta be honest, right? If it was me, I wouldn't care, right? If I'm really feeling you and I really love you and things like that, whatever complications you have become my complications. So guess what? If I had dreams of being a father naturally and all these things, but I'm with someone who have complications, guess what? I'm going to adopt. I'm because at the end of the day, I love the person that I'm with, right? But they don't love each other. They are still in the early stages. And I feel like Fritz, even though I don't like him, is within his rights to be like, yeah, I'm not really feeling that. You get what I'm saying? The same way as she's like, yeah, no one's going to carry my child. So I really have no problem with both their answers.
And I agree. And I think that's also the point of dating, just to actually get to know somebody, their thoughts, their values, to see if that's somebody that you want to move forward with. Yeah. And sometimes it just doesn't align. And here it didn't align, so they can move on to other people.
Bail out of jail for both of them. I don't hold none of the answers against them. You're right, Blair.
So Taye goes on a date with Cisco. He's feeling a little bit guilty about his intimate date with Shanice, but he does not bring it up to Taye. Taye apologizes for being distant at the block party, and she wonders how they would navigate their future with him in his situation. He talks about how he would just need to match her energy. He knows that she likes to go out, she likes to travel. They both want marriage, and she wants to be married before having children. He says that once he has that support, it just makes him go harder.
Stop right there. I need to address this.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's hear it.
Match her energy. You're older than her. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm gonna talk about gender roles only in this scene. You're the man. You're supposed to be the leader. You get what I'm saying? What do you mean match her energy? This is what is coming off. Like, I understand that a lot of people was like, Cisco, why are you on the show? And even Blair, you was playing her heartstrings, and she was like, everybody deserves love, right? And I was like, yes, everybody deserves love. That'll be I gotta love you, right? My thing is, Cisco, my fear is that, hey, are you a self-motivator? Or do you need someone to put a boot on your behind, right? And sometimes when it comes to life got the biggest boot. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want you to use me, if I was Taye, as a fire starter and things like that, because when you don't like me or when you're not feeling me, because eventually it starts off as motivation at first. This is why you got to be a self-motivator. You don't need nobody to be a boot in your behind, because it starts off as, thank you, Blair, for motivating me. You know, I'm matching your energy. And then that one day where I don't feel like doing anything and Blair comes and say, come on, Chris, you know, you got to do this. You got to do this. You know what? Get off my back. And that's what I'm saying.
And then she nagging.
And now she's nagging. So that's why I'm like, if you ain't a self-motivator with all this stuff, you talk about I need to match your energy. No, what's your energy? No, Cisco, answer me. What's your energy? Because like you need to be like honing yourself besides relying like once I got somebody, that makes me go harder. If I was Taye, are you listening? Come mind you, he was married. So obviously he don't go that hard. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, Taye, if you're listening, besides, you know, with these daddy issues and things of that nature, I would be like, he's telling you very clearly that he's not a self-motivator. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say about that part right there. That stuck out to me.
And to me, I'm like, how frustrating and annoying would that have to be to tell a grown man that he needs to do X, Y, and Z while he's in a relationship? And not only that, like he'll say like, oh, just being with you is going to make me go hard because I got somebody else I got to think about. Like you said, what if when she gets on his nerves, or what if they're not on good terms, or what if she kick him out of her place because he ain't got no place to go?
Yeah.
Like, what is he gonna make shake for himself?
Bro, you wasn't even with the girl and she had you crying at the block party.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you get what I'm saying? Like, like he even had to come and basically pull you out of your own sadness and things of that nature. And my thing is, we are married, right? We have goals, and we are not each other's enemies. It's very clear that we are not each other's enemies. But that doesn't mean that when Blair says, or basically when I say, hey, aren't you supposed to be doing this, that we don't get frustrated at each other.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear that, especially not all the time if you are someone that don't self-motivate. So that's why I know he's setting her up to basically for her to become his biggest enemy when it comes to nagging and things of that nature if he's not a self-motivator.
Yeah.
Taye
talks about how she was abandoned by her dad. They are now in a better space, but that left her with a lot of issues as far as cutting people off quickly.
See what I mean?
Cisco met his dad twice, and his father passed away when he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
He gave her that reassurance that she wanted, and she says she is here, and they share a kiss.
I guess. No, look. I understand that the cast be watching people reviews. Shout out to them. And I'm not saying Cisco's a bad guy. Granted, we won't know who Cisco is or what Cisco is until the summer. Yeah. Right. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to that self-motivator and things like that, whenever someone's telling you, hey, when I have somebody in my corner, it makes me go harder. And I'm just like, well, that's not how life works. Life never works in a way to where everybody's always in your corner. Sometimes you got to motivate yourself. And I'm just saying, y'all wasn't even together, and he was at the block party sitting by himself crying. I would look at the signs.
Yeah.
So
the ladies get to the vault. Taye enjoyed both of her dates with Cisco and Naeem.
Facts.
Shanice talks about how she and Cisco did body painting where she was naked and Cisco wrote his name on her.
That is true.
Taye was not feeling it. She feels like the date was too sexual, too intimate. It did not sit well with her.
Well, you was over there with your feet all up on Naeem. I understand that's not nakedness and things of that nature, but still.
Yeah. And I respect how Taye feels, but this is still a dating situation. And I think that's what makes it so interesting and kind of weird too when people are dating in such close proximity.
Yeah.
Because you had this great connection, but the next girl was butt booty naked in front of your man. It's a lot.
Butt booty naked.
It's a lot.
I wrote my name right above the titty. You know what I'm saying?
And they talk about who they're not feeling. Dianna's not feeling Hussein because she said he compared firefighting to sitting down doing paperwork, and it's not the same.
That's not what he said.
At all.
That's not what he said.
That's what she took from it.
But guess what? Look, he already said no to you, so there's nothing you can say back to him.
Yeah.
Eddie,
they feel like is still into partying, these sexual conversations, and Sahara was talking about her thoughts about Eddie, and Dianna was saying, well, you have to say for you, because that's not my interaction with him. Well, if I'm talking, then clearly I'm talking about my perspective. I don't know why Dianna was so hyped this episode. It was a bit much.
She is turning me off.
Fritz texted Sahara to make sure that he got a vote. And Dianna says, well, this he say, she say should be kept to yourself because it's not facts.
So I can't say nothing because I'm a liar? Okay.
And Sahara said, he told me verbatim on our date that he was playing, but now he's taking it serious. Shanice pipes up, says that she enjoys Fritz. She would like him to stay. She thinks that Sahara was trying to manipulate the ladies to send home the wrong person. Why do you want to believe these men y'all don't know? And I guess why should they believe Sahara either? But does Fritz seem serious to you?
But it kind of lets me know that, hey, they don't. I think what happens is they don't like Sahara, right?
Right.
Based off of the first episode to where she showed her behind in the sense of, you know what, I don't want to talk to any of these men. So they already see her as a wild card. So they are letting her reputation basically paint the picture for her besides actually getting to know her.
And listening to what she's saying.
And probably listening to some of the men about her and things like that. So far, the only guy that has something nice to say about her is Cam, right? I don't think Frisco have anything mean to say. I think he understands that she's not my type.
Fritz.
Fritz. No, not Fritz. I'm talking about Cisco.
Cisco, okay.
Cisco don't have anything nice to... like Cisco said that she's not my type, but when it came down to her being almost voted out dirty, he was like, nah, I'm not with that now.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like so that's why it's like I don't think a lot of people are for her. They just don't want, talk about the guys, her to go home in an unfair way. I think some of the girls don't like her.
Yeah.
Like that's very different. I think Fritz is the only one that don't like her, but I think Fritz and the girls don't like Sahara.
So Dianna thinks that Sahara is here for games. Yep. Rose isn't here for surrogacy, and Fritz is.
Okay.
So they get to take the bottom two guys out. Sahara goes out with Fritz. She asks, how long has it been that you've been serious? And he says about a week. He feels like that he gave honest feedback during the men's vault meeting, and he tries to say he didn't throw her under the bus, but she tells him the ladies feel like you're copy and pasting, and we also talked about your polygamy.
Yeah.
He apologizes to Sahara, and he says that he could do better. Rose goes out with Eddie. The ladies aren't feeling how it seems like he's unserious, and they don't really know how serious he is about finding a wife. He needs to open up more as well. They're all getting the same type of flirtatious energy, and it's hard for them to figure out who he's really feeling.
Yeah.
So we are left on a cliffhanger. They told us they're not coming back till summertime, so we're not going to know if Fritz or Eddie's leaving till what, June?
Maybe
May. Who knows? Who knows? Because they want us to watch My Sister's Brother, Mother, Somebody, and Never Ever Mets, which we are going to watch Never Ever Mets. So,
who is you think is leaving?
At this point, I think Eddie.
Yeah, I think Fritz is leaving. There's no way that Sahara is sitting there basically letting her know, like, Cam told me everything what's going on in the vault.
Yeah.
And, like, I know what you've been talking about me, for him to return back to the group. Like, why y'all been talking about me? I think this is her, it's not fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I can see that too.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's all I got.
For this show, we see y'all back in June. For everything else, that doesn't mean just because y'all don't have homework for this class doesn't mean for the other classes. Y'all still got to show up for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Married to Medicine, Married at First Sight. You get what I'm saying? Y'all got homework now.
Yeah.
These deep dives, and we going to add some more shows. We see y'all.
Bye.